Assalamu alaikum. This is Rokia Samia welcoming you all to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Flying schedule of Khaleda Zia delayed due to her physical condition, says personal physician AZM Zahid Hossain. Almost 1,94,000 expatriates registered as voters for next polls, State's Election Commission. Mongla Port's capacity to be enhanced as port access facility to be inaugurated soon. Patients of cold-related diseases increasing in Chattogram. Doctors emphasize on immunity to keep children safe. "79, including 43 children killed in drone attack on hospital and school in Sudan." And draw for FIFA World Cup 2026 held in USA through grandeur. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. BNP chairperson Khaleda Zia, who is undergoing treatment at Evercare Hospital in Dhaka, is in stable condition, according to her personal physician, Dr. AZM Zahid Hossain. He said this during a briefing in front of Evercare Hospital this afternoon. Dr. Zahid stated that the air ambulance is ready. However, whether Khaleda Zia will be taken abroad for treatment depends entirely on her physical condition, and that remains the top priority.
এখন আমাদের মেডিকেল অ্যাম্বুলেন্স সবসময় প্রস্তুত আছে, কিন্তু প্রস্তুত থাকলেও সর্বোচ্চ পর্যায়ে দেশনেত্রী বেগম খালেদা জিয়ার সুচিকিৎসা এবং ওনার সেফটি অ্যান্ড সিকিউরিটি অর্থাৎ চিকিৎসাগত দিক থেকে এইটি অত্যন্ত প্রাধান্য পাচ্ছে সর্বত্রই। বিদেশে যাওয়ার ব্যাপারে আমাদের সর্বোচ্চ প্রস্তুতি রয়েছে। যখনই ওনাকে বিদেশ নেওয়ার জন্য মেডিকেল বোর্ড যথোপযুক্তভাবে তৈরি মনে করবেন, শারীরিকভাবে মনে হবে যে ওনাকে সেফলি ট্রান্সফার করা যাবে। কারণ মনে রাখতে হবে 12 থেকে 14 ঘন্টা যখন আপনি এয়ার ফ্লাই করবেন, তখন যে হাই অল্টিটিউডে মানুষের শারীরিক যে পরিবর্তন হয় সেটির সাথে খাপ খাওয়ানো একজন অসুস্থ মানুষের পক্ষে সব সময় সম্ভব হয় না। কাজে এই জিনিসটি খেয়াল রেখে আপনারা দয়া করে বিভ্রান্ত হবেন না, দয়া করে কেউ বিভ্রান্তি ছড়ানোর চেষ্টা করবেন না। সর্বোচ্চ পর্যায়ে কাতার গভর্নমেন্ট এবং আমাদের যে অন্তর্বর্তীকালীন সরকার সর্বোচ্চ পর্যায়ে সহযোগিতা আমাদেরকে করছেন এবং তারা ওনাদের বিদেশে নেওয়ার ব্যাপারে ওনাদের যে সহযোগিতা অব্যাহত রেখেছেন। দয়া করে দেশনেত্রীর এর প্রতি যদি আপনাদের শ্রদ্ধা এবং ভালোবাসার নিদর্শন স্বরূপ বিনীতভাবে অনুরোধ করব, আপনারা দয়া করে যে শর্ট ফ্যাক্ট এটার বাইরে কেউ গুজব ছড়িয়ে মানুষকে দয়া করে বিভ্রান্ত করবেন না।
The nation regards the leadership and wisdom of former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia as a valuable asset. Local Government Rural Development and Cooperatives Advisor Asif Mahmood Shaji Bhuiya has said in a social media post. In a post on his verified Facebook page shared, Asif, also the Youth and Sports Advisor, said Begum Zia has long been an uncompromising and widely respected leader in upholding democracy, civil rights and political freedom in the country. From the anti-Irshad movement to her courageous role against the authoritarian rule of Sheikh Hasina, her contributions remain a shining example in the nation's political history, he wrote. Asif Mahmood further said the country values her leadership and prudence as a national treasure. Bangladesh doesn't want to lose her. He also seeks the prayers of the people for the good health and speedy recovery of this guardian of the democratic process. A total of 1,93,874 Bangladeshi expatriates have so far registered through the postal vote BD app to vote in the 13th Jatiyo সংসদ election and the referendum. According to updated figures released on the Election Commission EC website this morning, of the registered voters, 1,74,909 are men and 18,965 are women. Saudi Arabia leads with 38,269 registrations, followed by the United States with 19,271. The Election Commission has urged expatriates to provide accurate postal addresses, saying incomplete or incorrect information may prevent delivery of ballot papers. The EC has extended the registration deadline for expatriate voters until 25 December. EC Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed said anyone abroad can download the app and complete registration within the extended period. The EC will also introduce in-country postal voting for government officials on election duty, voters in legal custody, and government officials staying outside their constituencies. The Mongla Port Development Project's Port Reception Facility (PRF) is awaiting inauguration. It is expected that once the project becomes operational, the capacity to collect and remove oil from ships will increase, helping to protect river and marine ecosystems. Officials say this will add another new milestone to the port's growing capabilities. Mongla Seaport is considered the economic lifeline of the country's southwestern region. Through this port, food grains, cement clinker, fertilizers, cars, various machinery, and LPG are usually imported. On the other hand, the port plays a vital role in the national economy by exporting frozen fish, shrimp, jute, clay, silk fabrics, and general merchandise. The port recently celebrated its Platinum Jubilee to establish a world-class modern and safe port system. The Port Authority is working on modernization, enhancing operational capacity, ensuring navigability of the channel, expanding storage facilities for cargo and containers, procuring modern equipment, and strengthening security and safety measures. Port officials said that with the addition of modern equipment, more than 24 containers can now be handled per hour. Regular dredging in front of the jetty has ensured navigability, enabling 5 ships to be operated simultaneously at the 5 jetties. The outbreak of cold-related diseases has started to increase in Chattogram. Especially children and the elderly persons are being affected more with these types of diseases. The crowd of patients suffering from cold-related diseases has increased in government and private hospitals in the district and city. Doctors have emphasized the importance of increasing the immunity of children by changing their eating habits during winter. Many children suffering from fever and cold-related diseases are found in hospitals. The crowd of children and elderly patients suffering from cold is increasing in government and private hospitals. Not only Chattogram Medical College and Hospital, but also Chattogram Mao Shishu Hospital, General Hospital see increasing number of patients surpassing the number of beds. In the winter season, parents have to take extra precautions to protect their children from cold-related diseases. Doctors say the number of patients suffering from cold-related diseases, especially fever, cough, pneumonia, diarrhea, increases during the winter season. They emphasize on hygiene and proper nutrition to keep the children and the adults safe from these diseases. Now, international news. At least 79 civilians, including 43 children, were killed and 38 others injured in a drone strike carried out by the Parliamentary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) in South Kordofan, Sudanese authorities said Friday. In a statement, the South Kordofan state government said 4 women were among the victims of Thursday's attack on the city of Kalogi in western Sudan. Officials said the drone fired 4 missiles into a kindergarten, a hospital, and densely populated residential areas, condemning the strike as a heinous crime committed by the RSF and the allied Sudan People's Liberation Movement North. Authorities initially reported 8 deaths, 6 children, a teacher, and another civilian, before raising the toll to 79 as bodies were recovered. The UN Children's Fund (UNICEF) condemned the attack as a horrific violation of children's rights. More than 10 children aged 5 to 7 were among those killed, the agency said. Israel's defense budget for 2026 has been set at $34.63 billion, the defense minister's office said on Friday, up from $27 billion budgeted in an earlier draft. Defense Minister Israel Katz and Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich agreed on the defense spending framework as the cabinet has begun debating next year's budget, which needs to be approved by March or could lead to new elections. Defense Minister Katz said Israel will continue to act decisively to reinforce the Israeli army and to fully address the needs of the fighters and to reduce the burden on reservists in order to ensure the security of the State of Israel on every front. Afghanistan authorities say 4 civilians have been killed after an exchange of heavy fire with Pakistan's forces along their shared border, as tensions between the South Asian neighbors escalate after peace talks in Saudi Arabia failed to produce a breakthrough. The governor of Afghanistan's Spin Boldak district in the Kandahar province confirmed the deaths on Saturday. Officials from both sides said the clashes broke out late on Friday night, with the 2 countries accusing one another of opening fire first. In a post on X, the spokesman for Afghanistan's Taliban government, Zabihullah Mujahid, said Pakistani forces had launched attacks towards the Spin Boldak district, prompting Afghan forces to respond. A spokesman for Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said it was the Afghan forces who carried out unprovoked firing along the Chaman border. President Donald Trump aims to prevent conflict with China over Taiwan and the South China Sea by building up U.S. and allies' military power, according to a new U.S. strategy document. The Trump administration laid out its approach to one of the world's most sensitive diplomatic issues in an official national security strategy document released yesterday. It comes as Beijing ratchets up pressure on democratically governed Taiwan and Japan, deploying vessels across East Asian waters this week in its largest maritime show of force to date. China views Taiwan as its own, and Beijing has never renounced the use of force to bring Taiwan under its control. China also has vast regional claims, including almost the entire South China Sea, which are disputed by many of its smaller neighbors.